Hey everybody. So this is Ostranauts. It is a very crunchy space sim that I got into semi recently. I haven't played it in a little while, but last time I played it, it was, gosh, it was probably back in 2025 in like the winter time. There's been a few not mods, patches since then. It's still in early access, but it's a really neat little game that I like to just chill with uh, every once in a while. Um, I don't know how well this series is going to go. I don't know how many episodes I'm going to make of this game, but it's just the game I kind of feel like playing right now. We're in the if I don't know if this series is going to come out around the same time as the current series I'm on right now, but just so you're aware of like where I am in the timeline. We're in the middle of the Pragmata playthrough, and I kind of just want to play something a little bit more chill, something a little bit more relaxing. And so we're going to do a little bit of an astronaut's career for a little bit. I'm going to start a new game. I have not played since this new ship-to-ship combat came out. I have not ever done any asteroid mining, so so this is how you start out. You start out by making your new character. I'm gonna obviously be a he/him. I flirt with she/her. I am straight, believe it or not. And I just like to randomize my character. Until I see something I like. That actually looks a little bit like me, weirdly enough. Uh, let's randomize. I'm not gonna name myself my name, but let's get an interesting little name here. I like Elias Bishop. Maybe I'll use Zeus Bishop. And I will slightly change the hair. The hair is way off from what my hair actually is. So let's see if I can find something somewhat similar to what my hair looks like in reality. That's close. So what is that? 5? Okay, 5 of 64 is close. It's a little bit too long for me. 13 is close. Oh, that's actually really close. 21. I think I'm gonna go with 21. I like 21. And then I do have a beard, but it's a little bit different than this one. Let me I just want to go all the way down to 1. Let's see if I can find my beard. That's pretty damn close. That is 6. My beard is not fully gray yet, but it's getting close. Let me see if I can find like a graying beard. That's actually pretty close. My beard is pretty scraggly and it's losing its color. So I'm gonna keep that. I have like grayish, bluish, greenish eyes, so I'm just gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep everything else the same. I kind of like how this guy looks, honestly. Okay. So, just to give you guys a little bit of background of what this game is before we continue on. It's set in I don't know what year it's set in. Actually, we can probably tell right here. Yeah, 2079. So, um, August 26, 2079. Uh, I don't really know what there's lore in the game that you can find, but I've played the game for probably like 12 hours or something like that before this playthrough. You are a spacer. You live out in like the asteroid belt. It takes place inside, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the solar system, our solar system. Uh, and just a spacer. You live out on a space station. Uh, what the thing's going to happen right at the beginning of the game is we're going to like play around with our life, essentially. We're going to start out as like an 18-year-old or something like that. And every time you do an action, it forwards your life a year, I think. And so you start out with no money, I believe. Yeah, okay. We have $99 to our name. 99.41. What I want to do before we even start is I want to make sure we start the game with at least I think you need $500. If you don't have 500, if you don't get $500 right off the bat, you're not in a great position. But as long as we get a good 500 or so dollars, we should be good because that'll let us buy a salvage license. But essentially, you are a person that lives on this space station. We're going to go through a bit of our life, and then we're going to buy a ship. And it doesn't matter what ship you buy, you're going to be massively in debt. And so the game is all about, at least at the beginning, is all about going out into like a space Hulk graveyard and deconstructing ships to bring back and sell parts at the space station to make money, pay off your debt. So let's just get started here. So, sorry, I was taking a drink. So we're at the OKLG Labor Department. Zeus Bishop, age 18, net worth $99.41. Your first corporate checkup. The Aotimiwa MedTech takes a glance at your chart, then at your body, then back at your chart. Immunosuppressed, low bone density, hypervolemic standard condition for a young spacer on K-Leg Station. Born and raised as you were in the weak microgravity of a 33-kilometer asteroid. Doc says the insomnia is catching up with you. It's chronic around here, something likely caused by radiation and lack of sunlight. Your eyes work well enough for now, but they're still bad and they're getting worse. 18 years old and rapidly approaching middle age, your muscles are feeble by Mars standards. They wouldn't stand a chance on Earth. No shit, you say. You're no Earther, and you never will be. A heart monitor beeps and then beeps again. The board tech scribbles a few notes and grants you work permissions. Healthy enough to strip holes in the boneyard despite everything. Fine with you, closer to the ships after all, and you're going to get one. So, every time you start out, you have a new biological father and a biological mother. So my biological father is Brian Wheeler. He's a bartender from Virginia. He lives on Titan. And then my mother is B. Montoya. She's a shipbreaker, also from Virginia, and she's on Titan now. I don't know if Virginia is a city on Titan or if they're talking about Virginia on Earth. I don't really know. But everybody starts out kind of the same. You always start out because you're born in space, and it's like a hard sci-fi, so they try to keep it as realism as possible. You're born in space, so the lack of gravity is going to make it so that you're immune. Well, you have low bone density and low hypovolemic uh, intake. Um, Also, because we live on a constantly cleaned and ventilated and what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Everything's always clean, so you're immunosuppressed because there's no like germs in space. And then we can spend some time getting rid of these conditions if you want to spend years doing it. But we start out at 18. 18 is close to middle age. I think 20 years old is middle aged for people that are born in space. I think you really only can like dream to live to like 40, really. Um, so let's get started. So we could just say submit here, but we obviously don't want to do that. So we're going to go through some stuff, and eventually we'll look for a ship. So, despite your best efforts, you dream of owning your own salvage ship still eludes you. You find yourself wondering if a change of strategy is in order. How will I spend the upcoming years? So, we can seek adventure, which will cost a year. We can work on ourselves, which will cost 1 to 3 years. Uh, We can save some money, which will cost a year. We can seek a ship, which will cost a year, or we can just review our resume. So the first thing I want to do is I want to work on myself because we're going to get rid of some of these bad traits. So as the world around you rages, you spend some time cultivating your inner garden. You do a deep dive of the old Earth archive and find there are an infinite wealth of resources to aid your quest and become a better you. Psychological journals, religious texts, self-help books, how-to manuals, poetry, novels, an entire world of self-improvement available to anyone with the discipline to achieve it. It will take some time, but it's something you have. What will you change about yourself? So we have some years. We start out with, we already have this, right? Oh, we could go down 3 years. Yeah. So we come with spaceship engineering. So we're good in designing, building, and maintaining spacecraft. There's no way we're going to get rid of this. We also start with 0G ops. We're not going to get rid of that either. Uh, we're we absolutely cannot get fit, and that is because we're unfit. We're also immunosuppressed and insomniac. Um, yeah, so we don't have our circulatory system is shit because we're always in low gravity. We do have sharp hearing, which is good. We're going to keep that. And a slow metabolism, which is also good. That means we don't have to eat as much, obviously. We're fragile, easy to hurt, and visually impaired. We're going to get rid of our vision impairment. Actually, do we need vision impairment? I don't really know what vision impairment actually does to you, honestly. I'm going to get rid of feeble, so we're automatically going to become 20 years old at the end of this. And we're going to get, well, do we do this? I think we're going to get rid of insomniac. So we're going to be 22 years old by the time we get out of here. We might get rid of immunosuppressed as well. I think we can work on being on like the fact that we're unfit as we do stuff. So I'm not really going to worry about getting rid of unfit. I think I'm going to get rid of immunosuppressed as well. So we're going to cost ourselves 5 years. We're going to be 23 by the time we're done with all this stuff. And we're going to see if we want anything else. Again, I'm not super skilled at this game or anything. I think we're just going to keep what we have here, honestly. Like, we don't know how to use EVA suits, but as you do stuff, you get the skill as far as I know. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So then we have hobbies here. I don't know how important the hobbies are, honestly. I think we're just going to go with this. We're going to lose feeble, we're going to lose insomniac, and we're going to lose immunosuppressant. So we're going to apply that. We're now 23 years old. We were 18. We were able to get rid of a few of our worse traits. So now we're not going to seek ship yet, obviously. We are going to want to either save money or seek adventure. Save money, I can't remember how much money you save, but it's kind of, I think it's low. Seeking adventure, on the other hand, is a way to risk, but also get more money potentially. So, we're gonna do this. We're gonna seek adventure. Hulks of blackened metal loom all around as you ride the labor barge out of the boneyard. The barge is so overloaded today, they've got some of you clinging to cargo web full of locked crates. Crates with emergency supplies they'll no doubt deduct from your pay if you dare have an accident. But the armed guard's back is turned. So, we're working in the boneyard, and there's lots of crates. We could. Uh, I don't have the hacking, so I'm gonna do mislabeled crate. Some less scrupulous scrap bosses run smuggling on the side, using the labor barge as cover to ferry crates out to buyers. You're willing to bet a mislabeled crate might put it somewhere you and your buddies could go unseen once the barge reaches the site. But when you get back to the station, a site manager finds your team for missing cargo. To make matters worse, one of your brilliant co-conspirators forgot where they stashed the loot. You make them buy the crew a bottle of vodka and let the fuck up be a running joke of the evening as the three of you cruise to the corridors of the OE. So I got some friends, but we lost money, I think, right? We made some friends, but it didn't go as well as it could have. All right, we didn't lose any money, but we also didn't gain any money. We're 24 now. I think as long as I'm like 30 by the time we start looking for a ship, we'll be okay. So let's seek adventure again. Zhui, a woman calls. You stop what you're doing, mouth dry. So do a dozen or so other date workers in the cramped dormitory. A silver class econopartment in the ASC barracks. That's the signal from the next pod over. They're coming. Outside the door and up the access corridor, you hear the clatter of mag boots marching in double time. A half dozen of your neighbors flee through the back door. Moments later, you hear a series of sharp cracks and screams. Shocker rounds, you hope. You've got a moment to act. What do you do? So there are some new seek adventure things. I have not seen this one, so I don't know what's going to happen. Let's try bluffing. Holy shit, we made money. Okay. You can't run a grift without preparation. You can't pull one off without a little luck. Fortunately, today you have both. There's a rumor going around that a Bureau of AOSEC inserts plainclothes police into communities like this one. If they exist, they've cornered their trail so far. With nothing else to go on, you spend 3 long nights painstakingly copying, modeling, and printing a fake security badge. It won't pass a close inspection, but if it goes according to plan, it won't have to. As the inspector reaches your position in the lineup, you make sure she catches sight of your badge, flat against your palm. You stare straight ahead. This is a confidence game. First one to blink loses. The inspector gives you a long look, but when she rifles through your belongings, she doesn't react to what you have hidden there. Your work visa is invalid, she says impassively. I'll let you off with a warning this time. She moves on down the line. 2 weeks later, you see Ayotimiwa deposit into the account you set up in the forged ID's name. So we got $500. Nice. So 500 is what I need to buy a I believe it's enough to buy a scrap license for about like 12 hours. Or is it a 24-hour scrap license? I can't remember if it's a 24 or 12-hour scrap license, but that's what we need. Because you can just go out and work in the scrapyard without a scrap permit. But if you do that, you risk 1, getting caught by the police, which they do patrol, or 2, when you come back, you have to sell to like the scrap peddler instead of like the actual trading community. All right. So I have 599. I don't really want to risk that. So let's see how much we get with save money. I can't remember how much you get. So, shipbreaking is a nearly impossible grind, but you know with enough discipline you can leave each month with a little extra cash socked away. So you cut back on your drinking, swap a few kiosk meals for trencher's chow, even take an extra shift here and there. It's not much, but by the end of the year you've got something that's beginning to resemble a nest egg. Okay, now that I just saved 500, I can't remember if it's 5,000 that you need to have the scrap license, or if it's just 500. I honestly can't remember. It might be 5,000. So I think as long as we start looking for a ship around 28, 29, 30, we're okay. Let's do Seek Adventure again. When all is said and done, shipbreaking and scavenging and hustling is a grind. What was once dangerous eventually becomes monotonous. This just so happens to be a phase of your life from which, looking back, you can't remember any interesting events at all. The only thing noteworthy about this particular period of backbreaking 100-hour weeks is what you started doing to cope. How do you deal with the boredom? Okay, this is actually going to get us. This is actually going to get us a skill, and I think I want to do suit maintenance. The Bingham 12 vacuum mobility suit has 15 major seals. Lubricate them. The helmet has its own secondary battery system. Check the indicator, but also check the physical battery just in case, because one time you saw that false report. Relaminate the torso, groin, and skull with radiation absorbent using a fine brush tip. Hold arm. That's the mnemonic for a user review of the suit's internal metrics, according to Ayotimiwa. But once you get through it, review the balance calibration because the mnemonic doesn't cover for that for some reason. Check boot soles for microabrasions and organic detritus. Try to scrounge some more cooling gel. The heat sink on the 12 series guzzles it down. Check internal fans for dust because dusty fans are to blood clots what heart attacks are to your sudden asphyxiation. At the start of this period, you could do a full check about 8 times per free shift. Toward the end, you're up to 14. It's the kind of thing someone might have called you insane for if it wasn't so incredibly common. In one of your more lucid moments, it occurs to you that this routine might well save your life, but it might very well destroy it too. So I think we get, yeah, so we just got skills. We got finicky, which I think is a negative thing, but we also got skilled in EVA suits, skilled in physics, and patient. Those are good skills to have. We're 27. Let's save money again, see how much we get. Got 500 again. Shipbreaking is a nearly impossible grind, but you know with enough discipline you can leave each month with a little extra cash socked away. Okay, I already read this. So I guess you get 500 each time. Actually, no, we got more this time. We got 418 that last time. When we did this thing, we got skilled in forgery and skilled in acting. All right, how about we do one more Seek Adventure? You are approached by a coworker who has developed a less than legal method for making cash on the side. Apparently, they have been tagging high-value salvage as junk in the system for the last 6 weeks. After the false tag, they leave the part on board the derelict and sell the location of the highest bidder. This scheme always involves the complicity of the breaker doing the final sweep, and today that happens to be you. The piece in question is a busted reactor, and you know it will fetch a pretty penny on the black market. It's a big take if you can pull it off, but there are risks. Okay. So, I don't have any street smarts. That's the problem. I do have forgery and acting. Let's risk it. Holy fuck. We made a shitload of money there. Okay. The plan is a good one, but hell if you're going to be the one left holding the bag. You keep a digital record of the false tag as insurance to guarantee you get your cut. Sure enough, the ringleader tries to squeeze you when it's time to pay up. You use the evidence to blackmail them for a larger share, and more importantly, you get out clean. Alright, we're going to start looking for a ship now. We're 29. I don't want to look for too long, because I want to be still kind of young. Yeah, so we're about middle-aged now. You've reached halfway to life expectancy, so we'll be lucky to reach 60, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so did we get immunosuppressed back? We might have gotten immunosuppressed back. We also got poor hearing. That's not good. Okay, well, let's start looking for money. Or let's start looking for a ship. Okay. So, this is the first ship layout, or this is one of the ship layouts that you can get. Uh, Endurance Salvage Pod. You happen across an ad for a heavily used Ryoka TU-76A Endurance Salvage Pod. There's not much there but maneuvering jets and life support, but it can fly. The endurance model of the TU was built for longer range salvage operations, and so it is equipped with a bed and wash facilities. The one for purchase is in very rough shape, however, it would require some serious elbow grease to bring it back to form. Uh, Ojiso's register has given this vessel an OSR of moderate, indicating that it is legal for sale but does not possess ship systems beyond basic travel and life support. So, if we were to take this one, the mortgage is $811,000, $811,731.50, and we have to pay per shift, which I think is it 4-hour intervals? I can't remember. It might be 6-hour intervals. Uh, $2,100 or so. Sorry, I'm taking a drink again. Um, there is a smaller ship that I want to get, and it's cheaper as well. I'm sure we could do the 2187, but we're gonna look for more. Let's seek ship again. This might be the ship we take. This one is kind of cool. This is a small salvage pod. You happen across an ad for a Ryoka TU-70A compact salvage pod. These models are simple, mostly just life support and thrusters, but they work just fine for local travel in the boneyard. The particular TU model available has a smaller floor plan, making it more fuel efficient and lightweight than the other Ryoka models. Ojiso's register has given the vessel an OSR. Okay, so it's fine. I think we're going to take this one. Alright, you're now the proud owner of a TU-70A, and you can now reach some of the outer derelicts beyond the watchful eye of the yardmasters. Now that you're on your own terms, your next move is up to you. Maybe score a valuable part or two for resale or reuse, pull down a platinum tier payout on a gig, or maybe even discover a ship discarded before its time. Whatever the case, it beats sweating in suit all day for someone else's profit. Time to get out there and find your future. So this just gives us a little bit of an idea of everything we did. So we're youthful. We are middle-aged as well. We're attracted to women. We're finicky. We're a leader. That's good. That's in case we want to hire some people. We're patient, but we're fragile. We didn't get rid of our micro hypervolemic ship. We got immunosuppressed back. We luckily have a slow metabolism still. We unfortunately have poor hearing. We're unfit and visually impaired. But we're skilled in acting, skilled in EVA suits, skilled in spaceship engineering, skilled in street etiquette, skilled in forgery, skilled in physics, skilled in zero-G ops. So let's submit. All right, and we have tutorials. So this is the start of the game. Here. Zeus Bishop. The Ostraka tutorial objectives held. Welcome to the Ostranauts tutorial. I'm gonna do this because I just can't really remember much of it, honestly. Move this around. As you take your first steps through the world, you'll receive tutorial objectives which will lead you through some of the basic gameplay mechanics. They will have links to articles like this one here with more information and context about that objective. You can mute these pop-ups with the mute button to the top right. Alright, so we move around. I specifically took the fog of war off. I think if I do... Hold on a sec. Yeah. I took fog of war off because when I play stuff like Zomboid, I really don't like the fog of war. So um, same thing with this one. So here we are. Here's our guy right here. We're Zeus Bishop, We have 6018 in the bank, and our ship is right here. It's going to be hard to explain all this shit at once, so we'll go to the ship before I talk about anything. So we're going to, what is the shift? Yeah, 6-hour shifts. So the next mortgage payment we have, we need to have at least like 2100 or so, and we're not going to have that right when I get out of this. So let's unpause. So we get the first tutorial. Highlighting interactables and other overlays. By default, holding the Alt button. That shows you everything we can do. Highlights interactable objects near your captain. Often this will be crates, compartments, or things with an inventory that your captain can rummage through. However, it also highlights switches, appliances, and anything else acceptable except a use type of action colored blue on the item's context menu. Okay. We're on this one now. Just like in real life, you can use light switches to turn lights on and off. Unlike real life, you'll have to click on them first. By the end of this tutorial, the knowledge for how to interact with objects will switch on, not unlike a light switch. So there should be a, yeah, here's the switch. So that turns on the light to our compartment. And if we, what's the inventory button? Yeah, inventory. Your overalls are strewn on the ground next to you, along with your shoes. You may have to hunt around for the second shoe. Going barefoot or wearing a shoe on the wrong foot will give footwear debuff. Yeah, true. Okay, so if we go over here, how do I look at the ground? I can't remember how to look at the ground. Hold on 1 second. I can't remember how to look at what's on the ground. Move the yellow jumpsuit and shoes on the ground to your inventory screen. How do I do that, though? Where is the ground? There should be a... should be a thing to look at the ground. I just can't remember the fucking... Zones? No, it's not zones. Alright, I'm gonna, we've been going for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna cut the video here and I'm gonna figure this out and then come back for the next one.